As I was traveling north on 49th Street going underneath US 19, there was a lane that was merging onto 49th Street from US 19. As you can see on the right hand side, the vehicle on the right, and I was the vehicle on the left. I needed to make a right hand turn at Lakes Boulevard, so I needed to merge into the lane on the right hand side. It was tight, but there was enough room for me to move into the other lane, but the vehicle behind me sped up, trying to squeeze me out and not allowing me to make that change into the right-hand lane. As he realized that I was already committed to the change of lane, he was a little bit too far ahead and ended up having to go a little bit off the road with his right front tire. Obviously, this upset him quite a bit. He was making gestures through the windshield, was clearly very upset as we pulled up to the traffic light. He stayed back a little ways and proceeded to exit his vehicle. And as you can see by the X's, he approached my vehicle from the rear. Not really understanding what his intentions were, I decided that I wanted to try to get around the car that was blocking me in the front and go ahead and make my right-hand turn onto Lake Boulevard. As I backed up, I realized that there was another car that was approaching on the left-hand side, and by the time I was ready to go forward and make my left-hand turn to go around the car that was in front of me, this vehicle had actually come up and blocked that access and was sitting right next to the vehicle that was right in front of me. After I had made that, backing up, the person behind me yelled to the car in front, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?" And that person waved his hand out of the vehicle, but the whole time I stayed in the vehicle, never rolled down my window. And as the light began to turn, the car in front of me turned to the right and pulled off on the side of the road. I made a right-hand turn and actually made a turn too soon. My appointment was further down Lake Boulevard, but I didn't realize I'd made a wrong turn until I had gotten almost to the curve and realized there was no way to get across into the neighborhood that I needed to get into. So I made a turn and turned around and went back up to Lake Boulevard at that stop sign. So in this slide, you can see this is how the car would have been merging onto 49th Street. I was ahead of the vehicle at the time, and then I needed to make my turn into this lane in order to make the traffic light. The distance was fairly small, so it wasn't a very high rate of speed, but this vehicle did speed up quite a bit to try to squeeze me out from making that lane change, and just had a little bit of the right front tire go off the road. And this is the traffic light right here at Lake Boulevard that I was blocked in by a vehicle in front of me. And then when I backed up to try to get around this vehicle, because I didn't want a confrontation with the person that had gotten out of his vehicle, clearly very upset, coming to me. So I just decided to go ahead and wait for the light to turn. I made a wrong right-hand turn here onto 102nd Avenue, but was not aware that I made the wrong turn until I had gotten around this bend to the left before I was able to turn around and come back to Lake Boulevard so that I could make my right-hand turn onto Lake Boulevard to go to my scheduled appointment.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto 45th.
This is the point where I turned around and needed to make a U-turn to go back up to Lake Boulevard. This was the only way to get over to the area that I needed to get to. So as I approached the curve here, I realized that the person that was in front of me and the person that was behind me were parked on the side of the road ahead of where this truck is now. They're more right up at the stop sign. So when I pulled up, they were right here over to the left. When I pulled up, the driver behind me was telling me he had called the police, and I hope I enjoyed going to jail. Some other things were exchanged. I just rolled down my window and said a few things and just went on my way. Never got out of the vehicle, never confronted him, and then just went ahead to my appointment.